Go, 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 Jets! Welcome, New York Jets fans. I am your late night New York Jets host. I am Midnight Mike. I'm coming to you from the Long Island Sound. It's gotten a little colder here. We had some warm weather, and then it got cold again. It doesn't know what it wants to do. When is spring actually going to get here? You're the greatest yet. Come on and let's go, 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 Jets. Fight. And there we go. TS, Jets, Jets, Jets. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. It's your late night New York Jets host. I am back here Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and thank you all for joining me. I really do appreciate it. If you're here early, go down, hit those thumbs up buttons, because you know what? There's no better way for you to help me, help Maddie, help the show, help the Midnight Mike show by getting it seen by more people by then going down and hitting those thumbs up. Those are the most important. And on Tuesday night, you guys did great. You didn't break the record. You didn't break the record for live thumbs up, whatever, but you guys did pretty good considering. Now tonight we're going up against the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania. And I don't know if our buddy Metz will be able to join us because especially if you go over and follow me on Twitter at Midnight Mike Show. That's MIDNITE Mike Show. I will show that to you. But if you go over and follow me on Twitter, or X as they now call it, I put up a clip from Thursday's show. Was it Thursday or was it Friday? I forget which one it was, of Metz just cutting a scathing promo on The Rock. And I'm not the whole wrestling thing. I'd rather talk New York Jets. I haven't talked or watched wrestling in over a decade. Maddie hates it, makes fun of it, respects the athleticism. He's said that before, but Metz, man, he almost believes it, and that's what we all love about Metz, right? So if he can't join us tonight, that's okay, because we have a guest. We've had a Jets content creator on before, and I figured before the next season starts, why not get to know some of these guys, get to know our fellow Jets content creators. And this is a guy that I've been watching for a long time. I've mostly watched him on Thursday Thick of It, and he comes on a lot with Green Bean on Green Bean Jets Fans channel. But he also just started back up his own live streams on his own channel, which is the New York Jets Situation Report, and that's Gunny. And I love watching Gunny, and I wish, can we get him, Gunny, a Jets chant there? Jets, Jets, Jets. Yeah, love watching Gunny. Always love his takes. Always love watching the chemistry he has with Green Bean, and he will be on momentarily right around the 9:15 hour, which isn't that long from now. It's about 10 minutes from now. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm wearing my Klecko jersey. I'm wearing my throwback. Won't be throwback in less than a week, hopefully. Throwback Jets swoosh logo hat. And it's because from what I'm to believe, by the time we meet up again next Saturday night, the New York Jets will be officially wearing the legacy uniforms, the 80s throwback uniforms. And I just can only say thank God, because those fucking abominations that we've been watching for the past 5 years are so ugly. Like even when they came out, I was like, and you know what? I don't actually have a problem with the primary logo. I mean, I've seen people with a problem with the primary logo. I don't even have that much of a problem with that. I actually think it's a lot clearer than the one with the NY behind it. My problem is the uniform. I just thought the uniform was so ugly. And like I've said before, I am going to have a ceremony burning my number 14 Sam Darnold jersey that I got the year the uniform came out. Because if you look at our history with those uniforms over the past 5 years, and you look at it needs to be done. As Maddie says, we need to, as Maddie says, that Ace Ventura says, we need to exorcise the demons of these jerseys. Or Jim Carrey. Was that Ace Ventura? I think it was Ace Ventura. But yeah, it's got to happen. And I have a history with it. I'm quick. I know a lot of you have heard this story before. When I moved down to Philadelphia, I'm a New York Yankee fan. Most of you know that. When I moved down to Philadelphia, I said, I need a Philly team to like. And there were the Philadelphia Phillies in 2007. And over the radio, over WIP or something, they say. And the Phillies have become the first sports franchise in any sport to amass 10,000 losses. And I said, I'm a Jets fan. That sounds right. That sounds like the underdog. And I got my first Phillies hat. And the next season, 2008, they win the World Series. Then in 2009, they play the Yankees in the World Series. And I'm not going to root for even though I lived in Philly, in South Philadelphia, I'm not sitting there rooting for the Phillies over the New York Yankees. So all of a sudden, all these people over the past year who saw me wearing my Phillies hat around, see me just change. And I said, hey, I'm sorry. I'm from Northeast Jersey. I'm a Yankee fan. And game one, the Phillies took it. And I got really nervous. And I was actually having a party. I believe it was like a Halloween party or something that night at my house. And I went upstairs. I grabbed my Phillies hat, the one Phillies hat I owned. I went out back and burnt the Phillies hat. And what happened after that? So, ladies and gentlemen, that Jets jersey will be burnt, and you will see it on my YouTube channel. Don't forget, folks, go down below, hit that thumbs up and all of that stuff. I want to get Maddie in here, and I realize that I have not dropped the link actually into the thing. Gunny is going to be calling soon, folks. So please, if you want to call in and talk to me or Maddie, just give us some time. We're going to do about 20 minutes with Gunny, have some fun, and then you guys can call in if any of you are there, and so on and so forth. So let me get that link down in the description. And just to let everybody know, after Maddie calls in, after we talk to Gunny, this is what it's going to look like in the comments section. It's my old MCM logo there, the Midnight Mike Show logo, and it says call in. You hit that StreamYard link, you put in your information, and all of that will be great. Folks, I'm letting you know right now, this is a tough one for me. I came on with some energy because I wanted to just, spin things around because what was happening with my wife last Saturday night. It was to the point where I didn't know if I'd have to end the stream. I didn't know if I'd have to hand it over to Maddie. I didn't know what I'd have to do. 2 days later, my youngest daughter got it. It wasn't food poisoning, folks. My youngest daughter got it 2 days later, was up for 2 nights throwing up. Well, guess what happened 2 days after that, Wednesday night. Everyone knows where I was Wednesday night, right? I was up at Media Day for the Hartford Yard Goats. Actually, I was there during the day, during the morning, afternoon hours. By the time I got home that night, it hit me, and I was down for 24 hours. And this is one of those things where it's real bad for 24 hours, but then you feel nauseous anytime you smell anything for the next 5 days. It's brutal. So I'm here for you folks because I love you. I love talking to you. I can't wait to get into the comments section. I can't wait to get Maddie in. Here he is. You know what? Let's get right to Maddie. Maddie, how you doing tonight?
Hey, brother. I'm sorry you got sick, but if it makes you feel any better, 100% simpatico. So, I don't know if you noticed, but I was spamming the mute button on Saturday last week. And I was like, man.
I did see you muting a lot.
I was coughing a lot, and I was like, it felt like I had a tickle in the back of my throat. I woke up Sunday morning with 102.5 degree fever.
Wait, and this is this is after, because you had okay, so you came home from when you visited Connecticut. You came home, you were sick.
Got it. I got sick again last week.
It's okay, so you got sick again.
I was like, you got to be fucking with me, right? So I get sick. I'm like, all right. I mean, I just was flat on my back the whole 2 days. Went to work, and found out that one of my pods in my unit was quarantined with influenza. And I was like, you
Oh
motherfucker.
man.
So I've been like mainlining NyQuil, Dayquil, Alka-Seltzer all week. So not as bad as what you had, because I was only down for a day where I just felt like crap. But man, I'm sorry that ran through you. But I don't know. Maybe God was like, let's punish both of those assholes.
I'll tell it's still running through me because literally I like earlier today I felt a lot better. Like I'll start out today feeling great until I finally like eat something substantial. And then for the rest of the day, I won't throw up or anything. That was the first day. But the rest of the day, anytime you smell something, you just
And
feel
I bet your stomach's
God.
making noises like Normandy.
Oh, you have no idea. Let me get some of these comments real quick. Gunny is my favorite human. That's from Dane. Dane, when did we meet you? A couple weeks ago. Thank you for coming
last
back.
week, wasn't it?
If Gunny sticks around a while, hopefully he can field some calls together. I'm running to the store, but we'll consider dialing in here I don't know if we have that much time, man. We got a lot of things to get to tonight. Let's party, R&R, dude. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. What's up, Jets fan? Greg, what's up?
I feel like Tyler Durden right now. I'm like, look around, see a lot of new faces, and I love it. Talk about Jets Club.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I said it before with Jets Central. I love professionalism, and we have the professionalism because right on time, we have Gunny. Gunny, how you doing tonight?
Gunny.
Yo, it was good, Mike. How you doing? What's up, Maddie? How you doing, brother?
Good to meet you, man. Dude, I love your channel, and I'll tell you why. I love the emotion.
Okay.
Like I'm like, this dude understands why I'm over here crying and everyone's looking at me.
Yes. Nah, 100%. I think if you're a Jets content creator, man, like you've got to go ahead and be relatable to the fan base. Let's be honest. Like it's painful to do what we do, right? To be fans of the New York Jets. We keep giving them our energy, our love, our admiration, our freaking money. And sometimes we just don't want to return the favor. So, I think that raw and true reaction aspect, you got to share that with everybody as just content creators.
Yeah, man. I was so excited when I knew you were coming.
He says sometimes they don't want to return the favor. I'd say 95% of the time, the New York Jets return that favor.
Most of the time. That's facts. I'm trying to go ahead and be optimistic today.
Dating the Jets is like dating a stripper who has a cocaine dealer on the side. Like they're like, yeah,
Maddie,
you're nice, but he takes care of business over here. I'm gonna answer his calls way before I answer your calls. I mean, a guy told me.
Gunny, this is sometimes what our show devolves into.
No, and I love it. I watch you guys all the time. I love the way you guys go at it, the unedited, unadulterated. It's why I love watching y'all show, man. Like I love what y'all do. I'm not surprised. I know exactly what to expect from Maddie.
Okay, good. Well, I want to talk to you because I've spoken to you a few times over Twitter or X or whatever, and right. DMs and stuff. And I've been watching you on Green Bean Show, and you had told me a while back that you were going to be bringing back your show, and what is it called? It's called Hanging at the New York
Hang or Hang Out. It's Hang or Hang Out. I was told my title was too long. Hanging at the Hangar with Gunny. So I was just like, you know what? It's a Hang or Hang Out. We're on episode, I think, 4 this week. So every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central. If it's not just me, it's going to be a guest. I think this week we got the Buffalo Jets fan showing up on Tuesday night. So it's going to be a good show. And it's pretty much just, again, man, talking Jets football, breaking down some of the moves we've made, how we're feeling as a fan base. I open it up to the panel as well, to individuals who want to call in. I think that getting, Jets fans like true perspective on it on the show means a lot, just the way you guys do the same thing. So yeah, Tuesday nights, man, 7:30. It's been fun. And it's funny because I was watching the show when I was getting home. You brought up how I brought my show back, and I was like, I used to do Taco Tuesdays with Gunny, and it was fun, man. But it was a lot of work. I had to go ahead and prep tacos in the beginning, like take a video of me making the tacos, edit the video. Yeah, right. So I had to go ahead and I bypassed it, and then now it's just a nonchalant hangout on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, it is much easier doing stuff like this. Like on my other channel, the Goat Gazette. I cover the minor league Hartford Yard Goats. I actually have media credentials and all that stuff. And I went up there for media day. Yeah, I went up there for media day this past Wednesday, and I still haven't put up the video, mostly because I've been really sick. But I've also noticed that with that channel and even this channel, if you go way before I started my Jets content, it was stuff that I had to like physically edit, put
Yeah.
put in pictures, put in drops,
Yeah.
put in this, put in that. And with StreamYard and other things like that, if you know how to work it right and you could just drop stuff in, you get it all done
Bring
right
it up
live
on the
as you
screen.
do it.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
let
I'm
me
like
ask
you, man.
you.
My bad, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask you because I want to know. I've talked to my audience before about what made me start doing Jets content creation, and I asked Ian at Jets Central, like, when was the moment where in your mind where it just clicked and you were like, I need to go on the internet and talk about this because this team just drives me crazy.
Yeah, so I think for me, I really got heavy into watching YouTube content when I moved out here to Houston, Texas. It was difficult for me to go ahead and get new, up-to-date Jets news. Of course, I had the app, and of course, I followed them on social media and all that good stuff, but it wasn't the same, right? But jumping on guys like freaking Matt O'Leary, Jet Central, Green Bean, freaking Talking Jets, like all those guys who've been doing it for a while, Jake Asman, that's where I got the gist of my news from, right? So it was kind of awesome, and I would always have some kind of comment to say when I was watching the shows and whatnot, and the wife would be like, you know what, you got so much to say about it. Why don't you just get in front of a camera and you do it? You think it looks so easy. And I'm like, nah, these guys, you know what I'm saying? They've been doing it for a while. I don't want to get up there and embarrass myself, et cetera, et cetera. So I wanted to do it for a while, man. But I think while I was in the Marine Corps, I was just like, there was so many freaking like intricacies of what you can do and can't do in front of social media. So I was kind of hesitant in doing that. As a gunnery sergeant working out here in RS Houston, I was concerned that might be an issue. So I used that as an excuse. But moment I got out of the Marine Corps, I'm with my job now. I had this spare time. I finally said, you know what? F it. I'm going to stop talking about it and just jump in front of the camera and do it. I decided to do it one day when I came home and the wife had actually set up my original set, was upstairs in our loft, right? I came home from work and she had set it up and she said, now you got no excuse. You got this awesome freaking backdrop. You got this awesome set. You got the camera. You got the microphone. So now you can talk all the crap you want to as to why I'll get to it, or you can just do it. So that weekend I did my first video and it got some great response. And I was just like, oh, okay, I could do this. And then it was a hit from there.
That's awesome. What I also have to compliment your background because you have one of the best, backgrounds.
That's the wife. The wife did all this, man. Like, yeah, the wife did all this. She set it up. I mean, yeah, I gathered this throughout the years in terms of some of the memorabilia. I was gifted the Namath one from Gino the Italy Jet. Awesome cat. Like, he and I did some work together, and then he decided, you know what, I got something for you. Hook that up. And then the wife, man. Again, this is a different section of the house and everything. Came home one day from work, and she had set this up, and I was like, you are insane. But yeah, I've got nothing but props for this.
Let's take a quick second because all three of us are married. And I can't speak for you two guys, but I know that I would not be nearly the man I am without my wife.
100%.
Like, it's amazing partnership. And so I know my wife's not watching this because she's like, yeah, I don't care. But she's honest. You got to respect it. But yeah. Like, without my wife, I would not even be nearly as put together as I am. So let's all give just quick shout out.
Yeah.
If you got a great wife, give
absolutely.
Her a little love,
and you know what?
I like that. I like that.
And you know what? Gunny said that his wife was, and it's the same story. That's why I laughed when he said it. My wife was like, can you just bitch at people on the internet? Like, instead of yelling at me all the time. She's like,
whereas my wife is like, why are you yelling at the TV? I'm like, I had a few drinks and called into a YouTube show and now I'm famous.
The funny thing is every year she watches, she'll come into the room while I'm watching, and we've been together for 17 years now. And until this season, she's finally started to get into some games. And I've said before, her favorite thing, she loves like punt returns because of the chaos. But it was so funny watching her this season, watch Zach Wilson and be like, is he always supposed to get hit like that? Is he always supposed to get dropped or go, for that many yards?
Like, that's the worst when you're like trying to make excuses. Somebody's like, is he supposed to be retarded? And you're like,
yeah, is he supposed to be this bad?
No, it's like a thing. Fuck.
Now
so listen. Wait, so I take it that if y'all got kids?
Yeah, I have two.
Are they Jets fans?
They have to be, or they don't live here.
See, that's beautiful. I don't have that, right?
Or she doesn't want to.
See, I wish I had y'all kind of your wives, right? My wife is a huge Packers fan. She met her in the Marine Corps. Huge Packers fan when we met. When we got married, literally when we got married, we made a deal. Listen, whenever we have kids, whichever team has the better season that year, that kid becomes a Jets fan or a Jets fan or a Packers fan. At the
Well,
time, I was just like, okay,
that's fair, but
get a bet.
you know you were betting against yourself. You should have given
Yeah,
yourself
well,
But at the
5 game
time,
handicap.
we had just came off an AFC Championship game. Things were
Okay,
looking
all
good.
right, fair enough.
My oldest daughter, she's about to turn 14 this month. It's the only kid that I have that's a Jets fan. Then I have a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and an 8-year-old. My son is my youngest. They're all Packers fans. Unfortunately, the Jets didn't keep it up after those AFC Championship runs.
You and I have a fair amount in common because we got that stranger in a strange land thing going. Because you said you're in Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Denver. So, like I was.
I'm originally from Jersey, though.
No, I got you. I'm from Queens. But
you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I always tell people, and sorry for the people that have watched me say this before, but being a Jets fan in another city is like being a teenager and realizing you're gay. Because you think you're the only one in the whole world. No one understands you. You just listen to Morrissey and Joy Division and cry. It's like it's so rough. So I'm with you. We are simpatico.
Yeah,
brother, I promise.
And especially with the Houston doing this ridiculous turnaround that they've done right now,
wow,
man. It's rough.
They look like, I mean, everybody's talking Houston Jets AFC Championship, and
is everyone talking about that?
Actually, he's not wrong. I've been hearing that a lot too.
It's a thing.
Yes. But I feel like people still are not buying into the Jets.
The Jets
fans are buying.
No. Everywhere you're looking right now, you got everybody on ESPN, NFL Network. The only thing they say is if the New York Jets can stay healthy, they're the team to beat. That's the caveat. They got to stay healthy. They're the team to beat. So I mean, honestly, and I would love to see an AFC Championship game with those two. I don't care if it's here or there. I'm going to that particular game.
I need to ask you this. We have not talked about this on this show yet. The whole Stephon Diggs leaving the Buffalo Bills, going to the Houston Texans. Now, this is huge for the Jets, and we've talked about this on the show before, but I need a Gunny's prediction. I was saying they were going to do, if healthy. Once again, you're right. Every time I say it on the show, I say if healthy. But I have said before the Stephon Diggs thing that the Jets are going 5-1 in the division. The one loss was to Buffalo, but now I'm questioning that. But the Jets will win the AFC East. Now that Stephon Diggs is gone, my confidence in that, if they're healthy, gets even higher. What do you think?
100%. I think the loss of Stephon Diggs, no matter what, Bills Mafia is trying to pretend it's okay. This is better for their team, et cetera, et cetera. That's a whole bunch of copism. I mean, I've never seen a level of copism to this max. Like
they're making beds in a burning house.
Oh, 100%. You're losing 43% of your offensive production with the loss of Gabe Davis and with the loss of Stephon Diggs. You're telling me, oh, you're okay. We're going to go into the draft and figure it out. Oh, Dalton Kincaid, he's a dog. He's going to be all right. Look,
not going to replace Stephon Diggs in the draft right away. You might get a guy who's amazing, but it's going to take time.
But not in year one.
The AFC East is 100% up for grabs.
I think right now, in all actuality, our biggest competitor is going to be the Miami Dolphins.
I agree with that.
When they have that level of offense, I really like McDaniel and what he's been able to do and maximize Tua and hide to his freaking weaknesses. So I worry about the Miami Dolphins, and with them trading away Stephon Diggs, I specifically now feel like they'll be battling potentially for the third spot in the division.
Yeah, and the thing with the Dolphins is they have shown year in year out they're a paper tiger.
Oh yeah.
Like they play some shithole team and they can dominate the hell out of them. They beat the Broncos by 50. But then they play a team that's like 5-1, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, the grown-ups came in. So, we'll see what they do next year. But I genuinely believe that the Jets have as legit a shot at the division as anybody.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And I do believe the Jets will win the division. I think we're going to be the AFC East champions again if we can stay healthy.
Okay, you know what? I threatened a bold prediction last week, and I'm just going to do it now because I'm super stoked you're here, Gunny.
All right, do it.
The Jets are going to win the Super Bowl next year.
Ooh, that is so bold.
I fucking said it, and when it happens, send me a fruit basket.
Dude, I can't even, I wish I could say that, but after 40 years of watching this team, like I said to other people, like I feel like I'd be lying to everybody.
I'm telling you right now, the Jets, unless some catastrophic injury happens, I hate that we have to preempt that with all that. They're going to win the Super Bowl. 100%.
In all actuality, when you look at this team on paper in regards to the level of talent, this defense is going to be, I think, the number one defense in football. I don't think there's any question about it. They were number 3 last year. They also were the only team in the NFL that was on the field for 72% of the snaps. The average in the NFL, by the way, is 58% on one side of the ball. 72%. That says all you need to know in regards to how much our defense was on the field constantly. And they still finished top 5. So I think now with a guy like Aaron Rodgers, people are like, "Oh, you're not going to get MVP Aaron Rodgers." We don't need MVP.
I don't give a shit about MVP Aaron Rodgers.
In fact, Aaron Rodgers from his last year in Green Bay would have gotten us to AFC East last year. I'll die on that hill. I think his last year in Green Bay, last year on the Jets, would have won us to AFC East. So we just need top 10 quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
Well, and we have our options are so wide open right now. Sign an offensive line.
Yep.
The draft is like
Mike Williams.
It's gravy. I mean, really, we've signed a quarterback too. We signed a wide receiver too. We basically
got our O-line.
Whatever the blue fuck we want.
The defense got better.
Bryce Huff, and I'm sitting here going, everything we add in the draft is gravy. And so I'm going, I really think that, and if I'm wrong, by all means, everybody can dump on me all they want next year. It's fine. But I genuinely believe that it is go time for ho time. Let's go. Jets will win the Super Bowl next season.
100%. Listen, Maddie, I'm going to tell you what. I think you'll get less shit predicting that wrong than I will get in my Alan Lazard will receive for 515 yards next year.
I don't know. I'm going to be pretty fucking vocal about this.
I think
Gunny, I have a quick question for you.
What's good?
You seem to be about our age. I'm guessing you're in late 30s or early 40s.
Correct.
Are you a fan of the film Heartbreak Ridge?
Yes. Love Heartbreak Ridge.
My man. That's all I wanted.
Who doesn't like Heartbreak Ridge?
I haven't seen it. What is it?
See?
There you go. I'm 43.
You got to watch it. It's a great film. And what's funny about it is, as a kid, I watched my dad. And then I was like, I'm going to join the Marines. And he's like, because my dad's an Army guy. And he's like, oh, you're joining the crotch? And I was like, sorry, Dad. You did this. And then I ended up playing college hockey and didn't do shit. Excuse me.
I mean, in all actuality, man, it's one of Clint Eastwood's, I think, best movies. I don't know.
100%.
I love the storytelling. I think it was well put together. And again, it's a movie that I watched probably a couple years before I joined the Marine Corps, and it definitely did kind of have plant that seed a little bit. This could be an option. I was at Rutgers playing basketball at the time. I didn't want to join the military at all until I was in Florida. I had moved to Florida. And I had just came back I was playing with the Miami Pit Bulls. It's a semi-pro basketball team.
Nice.
And we were getting our asses kicked, man. It was embarrassing. And I realized I was never going to see the NBA. And a commercial popped up that with the guy climbing the mountain, and then he fought a dragon.
I know the commercial.
You remember that thing? So I saw that thing, man, after a bad beatdown. I called the Marine Corps. Yep, exactly. Called the Marine Corps recruiter, and then the next day I was at the recruiting station. But
Mike,
Heartbreak Ridge,
this movie, it's great.
I will put it on my watch list.
Yep,
what I want to do is tell everybody who's watching, please hit that thumbs up button, because if you like what we're doing, if you like hearing Maddie's dog, hit that thumbs up button.
That's not my dog. That wasn't me.
Oh, is that Gunny's dog?
Those are my dogs. My bad.
Why are you always persecuting me, dude?
Those are my dogs.
Because usually it's you, Maddie. Let's be honest.
All right, I'll give it to you.
All right. So hit those thumbs up buttons. It helps the algorithm. More people will see that we are live, and we really appreciate all you guys watching. I'm trying to get through some of the comments, but I don't want to interrupt. This is the first time we have Gunny on the show. Another time, hopefully, if I catch a question, I will get to it. And I saw you, Lisa. I saw you, Valerie. I saw all of you guys coming in here. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here. But one of our new regulars, New York Jets super fan, says Gunny is not a Bowers boy. Boo. Hey, neither am I. Neither am I. Yeah, it's not that I don't like him, by the way. It's that I just would rather go O-line.
It's a team needs thing. It's not we don't like Bowers. It's just you have to address your needs now.
Listen, the whole Bowers thing, and I've been very, very adamant in not wanting him. And I think the reason why I got so passionate about it is because the Bowers boys have been very, very vocal on how this dude is already a better player than guys who are in the NFL, which to me, I think is you can't do that. You can't say that until these guys take a snap at the NFL level, going against NFL talent every freaking week. It's a different game. It's faster. And a lot of those guys who have freak athletic traits, mentally, it doesn't process at the next level. I mean, Some people thought freaking Zach Wilson was going to be a great quarterback. Right. Obviously, he was drafted freaking second overall.
Nothing
so for me, every time I hear that,
translation,
no, 100%. So I did a lot of watching tape on Brock Bowers, and I mean, again, I think a lot of people get hyped over his highlight reels more so than like the full breakdown of like how he plays. I have question marks in regards to how successful he'll be at the next level. And for me, if the New York Jets decide to pick him, I hope that they do so by trading back and acquiring other picks. If that's the route they want to go, I think Bowers at 10 is a big mistake. That's my take on it. I just think at 10 it's a big mistake. I would definitely rather go offensive lineman if the offensive lineman you want is not there, and one of the top 3 wide receivers are there. I would rather you go that route first before you go to freaking Bowers. Like I have an order of preference when it comes to it. So it's like offensive lineman, wide receiver, trade back, Brian Thomas, then Brock Bowers.
I'm hearing a lot of trade back rumors.
Hold on, Maddie.
Sorry.
I'm hearing trade back stuff too, but I'm so with you, Gunny, and I've said it many times before. It's like if we're going to trade up to get a wide receiver, I'm okay with that. But at number 10, I'm actually comfortable with our tight end room. Like, I don't need 100%. To go out and waste a 10th pick, whereas I'm not comfortable with the depth of our offensive line. So.
And I'll even understand the argument where people say, well, what about if Garrett Wilson goes down? I'm hearing you. And that's why I've changed my stance on if they do go wide receiver, I get it. Because if Garrett Wilson goes down, I'm concerned. I'm worried about what we do in terms of our wide receiver room. But when it comes to the tight end room, listen, people don't believe this, but like Conklin's a top 10 tight end over the last 2 years in the NFL. He's produced top 10 numbers. Yeah. He's doing so with the 32nd ranked passing offense in the NFL. Like, what could he possibly do when he has a legitimate quarterback throwing him the ball?
Nowhere to go but up.
Nowhere to go but up. So for me, I don't see it's not a need. It's just it's a highlight reel of a guy that is again. Bowers is fun as hell to watch at college. I've enjoyed watching this kid's tape because I was like, man, this kid is exciting to watch. But there are intricacies to his game that I don't know if it's going to translate like people think it's going to at the next level. I mean, again, at 6'3", 240 pounds, the guy to me is more of a fullback build than a tight end build. This isn't me breaking down Bowers' tape, but I have a lot of reservations about Brock Bowers, especially at 10. If the Jets believe he's that guy, like he's him, or if Aaron believes and again, mind you, Aaron Rodgers throughout his entire career has had a career target rate of 19% to the tight end position. So he doesn't utilize tight ends very often. People are saying like, yeah, he loves tight ends, blah, blah, blah. No, really, he doesn't. He's never had a 1,000-yard receiving tight end. He's never, I think the highest he's ever targeted was Tunyon back in 2016, right? That's the highest production that he's ever had in terms of a tight end. Look, he doesn't go that route very often, and he's going to be our quarterback and our offensive coordinator. So let's just get the guy either the protection he needs to be upright to make the decisions. If we got to a wide receiver, I would rather us go those routes.
Well, absolutely. And there's nothing about Brock Bowers, I think, that will make the team worse, but it just won't make the team better where it needs to be better, because if Rodgers goes down, it's over.
That's freaking well said. That's a beautiful way of putting it.
Yeah.
He won't make the team worse, but where does he make them better in terms of, I like the way you put that.
My only caveat is if Aaron Rodgers were to weigh in and say, I really like this guy and I think I will throw to him a lot, we have to take that into consideration.
That's fast.
But are we really going to?
But I really don't. I'm happy with our tight end.
Lazard and Cobb and Tim Boyle.
Yeah, we've given him his opportunities to be a GM.
Aaron Rodgers says, I want Brock Bowers. They're going to be like, fuck off, Vice President. It's not going to happen. They will take it into consideration. I don't think he will, but what I will say is this. If it comes out that Aaron Rodgers says, I wanted them to take Brock Bowers, they take Brock Bowers and he doesn't utilize him, it's the most Jet thing that could happen since him snapping his Achilles.
I mean, my whole thing
I don't think it's going to happen, but...
Well, first off, anything can happen.
Anything can happen because of how well they've done this freaking offseason. How Joe D has attacked free agency. I mean, I think
we're back to back now, right? Off-season champs.
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is last year we were off-season champs for one reason and one reason only. We acquired Aaron Rodgers. I think everybody and their mom will tell you right now, like, yeah, we got Aaron Rodgers. When we got Randall Cobb, we were like, oh, okay, yeah, we got Randall Cobb. I guess Rodgers will be more comfortable. Cool. We got Alan Lazard. all right. I mean, he was, I guess, a top option available at wide receiver. We paid him too much money, but hey, he's got familiarity with freaking Aaron Rodgers. Cool. We won last year because of Aaron Rodgers. This year, we won because the roster legitimately got better all around. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, every position imaginable that we had a hole going into this particular offseason. And I remember in February talking to freaking other creators and whatnot. Man, we're screwed, man. We got to rebuild the offensive line. We need a wide receiver too. I did not think in a million years that before the draft got here, we would have filled these holes, and we have the ability to go any direction we want to.
Joe Douglas was dead shot on the roof going click, 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 click. Like he knocked them all down. It was amazing.
And I really, like Gunny said, I in no way going into this offseason did I have faith in Joe Douglas that he was going to do what he did before the draft.
No, like and you know what? We all turned into Mary's friends from Something About Mary, where like she's like, oh, this guy's so great. And we're like, we're dicks. You know what I mean? We were all calling for Joe Douglas's blood, and then he's like
guilty. I was doing the same
thing.
Like,
watch this.
Yep.
And then now I'm like, all right, build the statue. Okay, Joe, my bad. We can build the statue now.
I'm like, you know what? Let me pay for his kid's private school real quick.
Right?
Now listen,
that was my fault.
I told Gunny we'd only hold him for 20 minutes. We've kind of hit right around that point, but before I let him
hang a little longer if that's okay.
Well, I'll let you hang as long as you want. When you have to go, you let me know.
I got you covered.
But I want to make sure I get this in, and this is something that some of my listeners will be familiar with, and it's my normal lightning round, and then we could just talk about anything. Where I'm going to just ask you a question, and you just give me your answer. It's a choice between two things.
You're gonna have to get his porn name.
Oh yeah, well that's become a thing. I don't know how that's become a thing on our show for the past couple weeks, but
I'll tell you why, because you let me get involved with the show and I fucked everything up.
Yeah, that's probably.
I'm assuming that was a Maddie segment. The porn.
Yeah,
100%.
It was brought up by Maddie. But what it is, so I used to, like, at the beginning of this channel, before it became a Jets channel, I always did 80s and 90s pop culture, horror, stuff like that. So the first three will kind of be in that kind of vein. They'll be simple and easy. So Mario or Sonic?
Say it again?
Mario or Sonic?
I'm a big Sonic guy, man.
My man.
I love Sonic the Hedgehog.
Boom.
Coke or Pepsi?
Oh, Coke.
Yes, absolutely. Go Coke. Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers?
Oh,
that's a tough one.
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go Mike, man. I'm gonna go Mike Myers on that one. Yeah.
All right, and now these next ones are going to be the Jets are in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And
these are so
you have to pick one of these players at their best.
Okay.
Okay. So to forget all their bad games, just picture them at their best. And who do you want in the Super Bowl for the Jets?
Before you ask, I just want to reiterate, I love these.
Vinny Testaverde or Chad Pennington?
Chad Pennington.
Wow. I'm shocked. I'm the biggest Vinny guy.
Chad. Really? I love Chad Pennington. Man, I really believe Chad Pennington could have been our franchise guy if that injury, there's a shoulder injury, didn't destroy his career, bro. I'm such a huge fan of him. I think we were robbed of what he could have been had he stayed healthy.
Now, I'm not going to deny that Chad Pennington was a great, accurate quarterback. No doubt. He could run the team, all of that stuff. But I grew up with Kenny O'Brien, a gunslinger. I then got Vinny, became my hero in 1998, and he was slinging them all over the place. So then when it got to Chad, I was like a safe quarterback. It just wasn't my thing. So okay, so here we go. Running back. We're in the Super Bowl at their best. Curtis Martin or Breece Hall?
Curtis Martin, man. Listen, I love Breece Hall, right? But we've only really seen it for one full year. We know Curtis Martin is that dog. I'm taking Curtis Martin all day.
Breece has a chance to overtake that.
But he hasn't yet. And if it's in the 100%. Super Bowl and I'm betting on it, I want Curtis Martin, a total rock.
I 100% agree.
Then I'm going to change up this next one. Now, I changed it up for other people like Ian because he was too young. You're not too young, but I'm going to change the other person because of what you said with Breece. It was Al Toon or Garrett Wilson, but I'm taking out Garrett Wilson because you're right. Okay. He could be better. Let's say Al Toon or Wayne Corbett.
Oh, man.
Like if you had to throw it to one of them to win the Super Bowl.
You know,
I'm going with Wayne, man. I'm sorry. I'm going with Wayne Corbett. I love the grittiness of Wayne, man. The dude always came through in the clutch. And I love his story, bro. Like, he was literally the biggest underdog story that literally rose to like the level of fame and accomplishment he did with the Jets. I'm going with Wayne. I trust Wayne. That he wants it more. I'm gonna go with Wayne on this one.
And then the final one, remember, this is at their best.
At their best.
Vinny and Chad have gone down. Okay.
Okay. Dang.
Zach Wilson or Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold.
Really?
Give me Sammy.
See,
yeah, nah,
I have to think about that one.
Listen, I was at the Cowboys versus Jets game watching Sam Darnold come the comeback game where he beat the Cowboys at MetLife. And I really believe then watching that game, okay, this kid's got it. This kid's got it. I don't think we did enough to put around him either. But if you're telling me today I can trust either Sammy Boy or Zach Wilson, nah, man, I'm trusting Sam because I've seen him do it against like live against the freaking Cowboys when they were down bad, brought them back for a win. So I'm gonna go with Sammy Boy on this one.
This is why I will give an argument for Sam Darnold or for Zach Wilson. I believe me, I hope he goes to hell at this point. And I was never a Zach truther. No, I was never a Zach truther, but I was always a guy who supports the guy who puts the helmet on. So right. if they're putting Zach out there, I'm gonna cheer for Zach.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. So, but here's my thing with Zach. Okay, so like Sam Darnold's floor is like 40%. His high is like 60%. Zach Wilson's floor is like 5%, but his high is like 75%. So This is at their best, like the best you've ever seen them play. So if I'm getting the best game Zach Wilson's ever played over the best game Sam Darnold's ever played, I feel like I might want to pick Zach.
I mean, Sam has had multiple touchdown games before. You know what I'm saying? Like
multiple as in two
like or three. Yes. 3 touchdown games before.
Correct. But Zach has had just these miraculous get out of like the way he can spin out of tackles. Like he got beat up, but he's gotten out of tackles and avoided sacks better than some people like I've ever seen. You know, not all the time. Sometimes he just goes right to the floor. But when he's really trying, like there was one again, I think it was against the Eagles, where Zach just spun out of shit and he ran 10 yards, dove, got the first down, and that was Zach. That's the Zach we needed 100% of the time. And then it just seems like Zach just at points just gives up.
Say this has to be the most divisive question of all. And I love it. It makes for great conversation.
It does.
But it's like it's so like I love it, but it really does. It just really cuts you right to the bone where it's like, you know, it's a Sophie's choice. It's like, which one of your kids do you let die? It's just tough. So I really do this. I have hats off to Mike. This is a great.
That was a good
question.
One.
Hey, you know what? You got to pick the two biggest bums
of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
Win you a Super Bowl.
Death by shark or death by tiger.
Oh man.
Ryder says, and I believe he's talking about the Jets win count this year. If healthy, 12 wins minimum. I say if healthy, it could be 10 wins minimum, but 13 wins maximum.
I love your profile pic, Ryder.
Yeah, is that him with his kids walking with
him
like, Jets gear on? It's so hard to tell sometimes because, like I said, I feel like I definitely need to get readers because my eyes are just going, and I have to, like, every time something comes up, I have to actually focus to be able to read it on my screen. Maybe I just need to get a big, huge screen for my monitor. We have no other receiver besides Garrett, and all our free agents are injury prone. It's not a sure thing. Let's see. I mean, I can't argue with that, but Mike Williams is a big freaking step up.
I disagree.
And Mike Williams is not
has
injury
a lot
prone.
to prove.
No, yeah, well, okay, fair enough. Explain.
I think that Mike Williams is going to be ready to go out there and show, hey, I had an injury, I'm back, and let's go. Like I don't. And we have, you know, Lazard and Cobb and all that other shit going on.
We don't have Cobb.
Oh, did Cobb leave?
No, Cobb's gone.
Oh, he was a 1-year deal.
Oh, was he? Oh,
but
you
no.
Tell how much I was paying attention to him.
No, but Mike Williams, he does get injured a lot, but he plays through it. Yes.
Yeah, I think Williams is a great signing, and if things happen in the draft and we draft a wide out, cool.
JE says Butterfingers Lazard. Let me explain once again, because I saw Gunny's face when one
You
of my
invited this.
it was last Tuesday's show. I did a bunch of bold predictions for this season, and I've been calling myself since the end of the season the only Lazard truther. And here's what I think.
He is.
I think that Alan Lazard, with a healthy Aaron Rodgers, is going to perform at a very good quarterback 3 level. Okay, not quarterback 2, not quarterback 1. But you have to remember that not only him, but all the receivers on our teams, tight ends, whoever, had Zach Wilson and Trevor Siemian and Tim Boyle throwing them the ball. They were out in front. They were behind. They were above their head. They were in the dirt. The receivers never knew each pass. It could be in front, whatever. Aaron Rodgers is going to hit you in the numbers or in the hands 80-90% of the time. Okay. So I think that if Alan Lazard is healthy, Aaron Rodgers is healthy, our offensive line is healthy, all that stuff, Alan Lazard could bring in 500 yards this year. If he's our wide receiver 3, he might not be. So, but I'm going to die on that hill, and I'm going to get beaten up when he doesn't do it.
I mean, in all actuality, you're not far off if he's wide receiver 3, because you got to figure teams are going to focus on slowing down Garrett Wilson. We already know Mike Williams is an 80-20 ball machine, right? And then you've got, Breece Hall in the run game. So you're going to have a linebacker wanting to go ahead and make sure they're keeping an eye on Breece. He'll be facing a lot of one-on-ones. He will face a lot of one-on-ones, right? And again, him and Aaron Rodgers do kind of have that rapport. I mean, I don't think it happens, but it's not the most far-fetched thing to go to wide receiver 3 that already has rapport built with Aaron Rodgers when your number 1 guy is facing double teams, your running back is facing a potential a stuff box. It's going to be between him and Mike Williams for those particular situations, and I think it makes sense. But for me, with Alan Lazard, the fact that Coach Saleh has talked about him as if like he was already off the team the way he has over the last several months, I'm really wanting to know what happened at sea, because I only think Saleh would do that if a person like legitimately quit on the team, and I'm getting the feeling or the vibe that potentially Lazard might have thrown a tantrum of sorts or I don't know, but it just seems like
trade. Who knows?
Something, right? But it just seems like he's not happy about him being on this team. And you haven't heard Aaron Rodgers say anything to defend Alan Lazard. Even though he still talked about Garrett Wilson, he talked about Breece Hall. He hasn't talked about Alan Lazard. In fact, the one time he did, he said, like, yeah, Alan Lazard knows what he has to do to go ahead and get things back on track. So, like, something I think happened that might have lost some trust in Alan Lazard. And because of that, I think there might be less targets going his way. Or they're going to make sure he's not, wide receiver 3, and he drops down to wide receiver 4.
At that point, you got to get rid of him. You got to trade him. You got to do something with him, because he's under contract. So you're going to pay him all this money. So why take away, like if he can help you get 500 yards this year, why, even if he's a crybaby bitch, get him have him get you 500 yards. If he's getting 500 yards, that means Garrett Wilson's at like 13 or 14, and Mike Williams is at like 900.
7 to 8. Yep.
Yeah, it's like the other guys have to be doing great for Alan Lazard to pull out 500.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know, but I think you're right. Something weird happened, because all of a sudden he was just not around anymore.
Nope.
And then this offseason, the only thing I've heard is that he might be traded.
Yeah.
So
he was on the trading.
Yeah, I heard they were taking calls.
Taking calls.
I guess they didn't get too many.
Yeah, well, shocker.
They got the same number of their answering machine. They have an Alan Lazard and Zach Wilson answering machine that the light is never blinking for a message.
Oh, it's just like my dating life in the early 2000s.
Oh, there you go. Draft Neighbors or best O lineman at 10. I don't think Neighbors is going to fall that far, but I would definitely take
Neighbors will fall that far.
Yeah, but I would definitely O lineman at 10. I would take any one of them. Oh,
I know that guy.
Yeah, that was Gunny's comment. Best wide receivers in the draft are Harrison, Neighbors, Brian, Thomas, Adunze is overrated. Trying to get through some of these comments, folks. If you super chat, I will 100% get to your comment and make sure that we will answer your question. If you have a question for Gunny, if you have a question for Maddie or me, please. But
I got to make a comment. on the
go ahead.
Adunze thing. Okay, so the Adunze thing, that is not true. If you want to go ahead and call somebody overrated, I would say potentially Brian Thomas, because a lot of his hype is based off of his freak tangibles, right? His size, his speed. I don't think there's a player in this draft that has a larger freaking catch radius than Adunze. The guy is a contested catch freak. Like it's really on the level of a freaking Mike Williams at the college level, right? Like I think it's like a 76% like contested catch rate. For reference in the NFL, if you're at like 55, that's considered good. You're a good freaking contested catch guy. His catch radius is disgusting. And I'll go as far as saying I believe the QB benefited from him being such a freak in terms of catching some of the most erratic passes thrown his way as to why his completion percentage looks so good. And his now the only thing I don't like about him is when he's at his get off at the line of scrimmage, right? In terms of that, I think he needs to work on that and refine it. But in all actuality, don't come for me here. I think Adunze has the physical ability to potentially be the guy that finishes off at the end of his career as the top wide receiver in this class. Wow. I think he's got those kind of freak tangibles. Like that contested catch rate is no joke. It's almost twice the amount of MHJs. Malik Neighbors isn't really known for it, right? But Malik Neighbors is a yak freaking monster. But like the guy's hands are about it. I think he has the lowest drop rate too in this entire class. The guy's hands are sticky. He's big. He's fast. Runs a 4.45. Look, I love Adunze. I don't think he'll be there at 10. I think if he gets to 10, like I think you got to almost have no choice but to grab him. If Fashandu and Alt is gone, like you got no choice. Go grab him. Don't even play around trading back. But him and Garrett Wilson on this roster for the next decade, man, we'd be having fun. If you add Adunze, Neighbors, or MHJ, you're in that conversation of having the best wide receiver room in football.
Yes.
But like let's be real. I really don't see those guys dropping to 10. I mean,
I think Adunze has the best chance, right? Because of other needs, other teams need. But I think the Bears will probably wind up scooping him up. Right,
he's at 9. They're going to take him.
Yeah, that's why I think that happened. Sadly, but that's
the thing. It's the nice problem we have is that you could say Neighbors, Marvin Harris, any of these guys could be the best of this draft class or anything like that. But it's just like quarterbacks. People come to the NFL and nothing's ever proven until you've seen it. And our little nice problem to have is that Garrett Wilson was drafted and he's proven it over the last 2 years. So now we have that in our back pocket, and now we can sit there and hopefully get one of these guys if they do fall to us.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Honestly, what do you think if we do end up drafting? Let's say one of these wide receivers does fall to us, or we trade up to get one of them. Right. Are you against for depth Bakhtiari and McGovern?
100% Bakhtiari. I still want Bakhtiari even if we go OT. I've been on the record saying that. Make him our swing tackle, or whoever we draft the swing tackle. I don't believe Tyron Smith is going to give us a full season. Realistically speaking, like that's hasn't been his story, right? Knock on wood. I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, exactly. But I think we need Bakhtiari is a must. We got to bring him in, and I'll even go as far as to say that he's already got a deal with the Jets. I think they've already talked to him. He already knows what's coming. He's going to go ahead and freaking wait till after the draft, and then he's going to come in here and be a New York Jet after the draft. I think if you go wide receiver, you 100% have to take a shot at him and bringing him in, because you're going to need somebody else behind freaking Tyron Smith. And between Tyron Smith and Bakhtiari, maybe you get a full season. Now, a tidbit that I just discovered and heard not too long ago is even though Tyron Smith has missed a lot of regular season games, that man has never, and I mean never, missed a playoff game. So
no, he is not.
Never. So if we have to go ahead and he's out for a few games in the regular season, you got Bakhtiari coming in there providing at least Pro Bowl caliber play at the left tackle position while you're all pros on the bench. At least knowing that in the playoffs when he's healthy, he's back. I'm all for it. I love Bakhtiari. I think he's definitely somebody that should still be on this roster come training camp.
Valerie, the first lady of the Midnight Mike Show, thank you for being here. And she says, still don't understand why JD wasted a year. And that's the thing. That's why we all wanted blood last season. And it's because, he did great last offseason, but you could not have epically failed more miserably than JD did during last season, replacing Aaron Rodgers. And he had literally the entire season to do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's why we all are really annoyed, or were really annoyed, because he kind of is, again, it's the Scooter scene in fucking Dumb and Dumber,
Yep.
totally redeemed himself.
Yep.
But that was the problem, is we're all sitting there going, okay, you see that your quarterback one went down, this guy's not handling business, and you're what? I mean, the most depressing line in football last year was, well, we benched Trevor Simeon for Tom O'Boyle because we needed to shake things up. Holy shit, man. What?
Did we bench? I thought we benched Tim Boyle for Trevor Simeon or Zach
Maybe. I don't
Wilson. Then I can't even remember at this
But yeah,
point.
it was such a mess that we
It
were
was
like,
a shit show after shit show after shit show.
yeah,
It was just
it was
bad.
like,
And
it was
the
like,
fact
who's
that
playing quarterback for the Jets? I don't know.
We don't know.
Guy named Dave.
Well, I've
I
always
just
said
found this guy on the one
at
train.
points
He was
last
busy.
year. At points last year, they could have gone to section 103, row
and pick
22,
somebody. Yep.
seat
Right.
F. They would have already had it. We all have our jerseys on, so
Yep.
you know, you pop right
Find
on
a
the
guy
field.
who's been real cool about paying for a PSL and give him a shot.
Absolutely. I mean, we can't. How could I, if I was brought down on the field, do worse than scoring 0 points for my team?
You couldn't. You couldn't do worse than that.
Exactly. And that was our quarterbacks. So it was
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it was such a mess. And that was our gripe with our GM. We're like, it was literally Rome was burning and JD was just fiddling. You know, he was practically Nero. And it was so frustrating because we're like, do something. And then the trade deadline passed, and we're like, oh, well, fuck us.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
I mean,
you
that
know,
was
but then again,
look,
in the
he has
offseason,
redeemed
I'm
himself so
happy.
far.
He has. He has.
What I want, though, I will say this. After last season, I had damn well better see our GM take an active role if something goes wrong during the season. Because it really felt like he just punched his time card and was like, season started, I'm out. No, unacceptable. Make some deals. Now, again, and I'm not going to pretend like I know jack shit about being an NFL GM, but you have to show your fan base that you're doing something. And we got that. We did not get that last year.
Well,
Again,
at a point, he could have hired. I think he had at a point he could have gotten maybe
the kid
Jacoby
from
Brissett,
Arizona.
but he could have gotten the gap for the kid from Arizona. He could have gotten Minshew, and Minshew ended up going to the Pro Bowl. Like,
yep,
right?
What?
And now I'm not gonna say he should have signed Joe Flacco. I don't care.
No.
I get that there was this feel-good story in Cleveland, but show us you're doing something. Leak something to the press. Be like, I was working on trades. They fell through.
Yeah.
Sources said we got nothing. It literally sounded like Joe Davis was just like chilling out every Sunday morning, getting a cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee and a cinnamon roll, and calling it good.
Like, you can't tell me, Joe Douglas, if you're watching, you can't tell me that from literally the fourth snap of the season to let's say week, to the trade deadline. But there was other people you could have just signed off the friggin' couch. You're telling me the best you could sign from the fourth snap till the trade deadline was literally Trevor Simeon.
Right.
I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. Like, there was something else going on, or he just didn't care, or he knew, like, maybe Woody made the ultimate mistake and, said to these guys when Rodgers went down, like, to make him feel better, but then he kind of had to stick to it. Like, he's like, oh, don't worry, guys. Like, I'm not going to judge you on this season. Like, I get we're kind of fucked here. Like, it is what it is. And Salah and JD looked at each other and they're like, hell yeah. Like, he just said it. We're good. We're safe. Yeah, we're safe. Yeah. And at that point, Joe Douglas, when Woody came back to him and said, hey, man, like, why aren't you doing anything? He goes, Woody, you're the one who told us. Like, we're safe. So what I'm going to do is wait till the offseason, and then I'll really build you a team around Aaron Rodgers. And then maybe that's what kept him.
It's possible. What I will say is, though, right now, what I like about this season is I really think there is a sense of desperation for Joe Douglas
against the wall. Yep.
And Salah. Like, because let's be honest, and I want you guys' honest answers on this. If this team does not make the playoffs this year, do these two assholes have a job next year? I say no.
So I think Salah's gone. I think Joe Douglas staying. I
Joe
actually think
Douglas has a
Salah's going.
chance.
Joe Douglas has a chance. I think Joe Douglas has a chance to stay because this guy at the end of the day brought us Aaron Rodgers, brought us freaking Tyron Smith, brought us freaking Mike Williams, just got us freaking Hassan Reddick, picked freaking Garrett Wilson, picked Brees Hall, picked freaking Jermaine Johnson, picked Sauce Gardner.
There's
like
a chance.
I think he has a chance of actually still being here and getting one more shot at turning this thing around. But Salah's done. If we don't make the playoffs this year, Salah's definitely done.
I genuinely believe that Woody is aware that, I mean, and I'm not trying to sound like a calloused asshole, but the guy is in his golden years, to put it nicely. He wants a championship before then. So I do believe that he has gotten to the point where it's like, we win now. And if you're not going to further the process, you're going to have to go. I think you might be right on one more year for Joe Douglas, but I really feel like Woody Johnson is just going to start bombing other stadiums so they can't play.
I want to say to everybody in the comments section, I just saw the love for Al Toon in there, which I really appreciate because that's who I grew up watching. That team was awesome. And I want to let everybody know, hey, I still haven't seen anybody. And if you've won it before, please don't put it in the comments. Say what game I'm watching behind me. I'm about to pull this down so you can see it. You guys usually get it. But if you do, and you know what, even if you don't, I'm willing to send some out. But the first few will get both.
Watching now.
The Midnight Mike Show holographic MCM logo sticker. And then I'll also, of course, send pretty much anyone out the Midnight Mike Show New York Jets kind of logo sticker. So if you guess it, you get the sticker, or if you suck up to me, you get the sticker. So either one works.
And Gunny, you got to do some merch, man. Your channel's awesome.
Yeah, the wife actually has been designing some merch for me right now. So I've got like a couple of cut off hoodies, t-shirts. I just haven't. Yeah, you're right. I just, again, dragging my feet, right? She's already created all the designs and everything for it. I just been dragging my feet, but I'm hearing you. I'm going to go ahead.
I say all this shit, but I'm just a random.
To be fair, these aren't merch. These are giveaway.
Yeah, freebies.
It's Jets versus the Patriots.
Yeah, these are freebies.
Can I take a guess?
You're not supposed to guess, Gunny. If you want to,
oh, you're right.
If you want a sticker, I'll send you a sticker.
Let him guess.
No, because if he guesses, then someone can't guess in the comments.
If he doesn't make it very specific,
you know what? I'll put it in the private chat.
Oh, there we go.
How does that? Would that just be the people on the show? The private chat?
No,
just
private
us.
chat
It's
is just you, me, and him.
Yep.
All right, I will look at that. Hold on, let me bring one up because I'm still trying to figure out how to do all this by myself on StreamYard. And now that
it's
Gunny, now that like at first it was easy. But now it's comment after comment after comment after comment. And I'm trying to tell people, like, look, like, at this point, there was times where I'd read every comment. And now it's to the point where I'll try to at least get every comment on the screen. But it's getting crazy. And I appreciate it, folks. I really do appreciate it. Let me go over to the private chat here and see what it is not what you have in there. Do you want me to tell you what it is?
No, don't. I'm watching still.
Okay.
No, that's the fun of it. Like, I'm into it now too. I'm sitting there.
Yeah, I'm over here like watching over his shoulder, like, what?
I'm all like, zoom in.
Who'd you see? Who'd you see?
I just saw him.
He's got it. Look at him. I've never seen a man more sure.
I honestly thought that conversation was headed to. Oh, okay. They also have comment. They also have conversations amongst themselves. Like I said, do you know on Talking Jets?
I think you're right.
Who is it? Ryan who runs all the comments?
Yeah.
Ryan. Okay, because that's got to be a lot of work because you got to really just kind of stick to super chats. Because at their level, or you guys on Thursday think. I mean, there's so many comments coming in.
But he's got a whole. We've got two guys in the back that's scrolling through the comments, and then in the private chat they'll be like, "Hey, you got a super chat. You got a super chat." They keep letting us know, like, "Hey, pull up a super chat," or this person that's a member said this, and it's a full production. It's a full production.
I've said that before. I said like a couple weeks ago that I feel like I've got to eventually get like a moderator, like someone who could just go into the comments and pop them up on the screen for me. like ones that are actual questions as opposed to like I want people to talk back and forth, have a
100%.
blast. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
Sasha's
ones that are
not
like
busy.
that are
I'll just
directed-
get her to do it.
directed
Yeah.
at us, so you can make sure you go ahead and talk. Yeah, that's what I struggle to do with on my show too. Just making sure that I hit the questions being asked.
all right, let me look in this private chat. Yes, Gunny. That's it.
Is it?
Yeah, he's
Let's
right.
go.
As soon as he said
So-
it, I like saw the jerseys and I was like,
Yep.
100%.
Well, yeah, it's well when the quarterback that you guys saw pop on the screen, I was like, oh,
Right,
this could
right.
give it away. This could do it. But
No,
I'm
well
going to try to
done,
get
dude.
through these, folks. Hit those thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. When I get off here, our record for live thumbs up, and like I said, that doesn't count because I have had people be like, you have more than 57 thumbs up. Those are on like my reaction videos from last season, where it was like in the 600, whatever it was, thumbs up on my, the videos from the short videos that pop up immediately. I'm talking about when you go over to the page and you hit live and you see all the live shows. Our record, I believe, is like 57. So please, folks, tonight you guys can beat that with the numbers that I've seen throughout the night. I know that the amount of people watching right now, I know you haven't been watching for an hour and 6 minutes. You people have come in and out. So hit that thumbs up button, people. Wow, Mike is the first person I've heard to share my Lazard take, but I'm saying the same, but more, like 630.
Dano, 650 to 7. Dano, like
I
that's
thought mine was.
that's a reach, brother.
Look, I have a membership. I have available so that people can get memberships. So I have the Testaverde level that's like $2.99 a month, and I've said to people, God, that's less than an iced mocha latte from Starbucks. And then there's the Namath level; it's like $4.99. And our Tuesday show, I'm going to start releasing a members only short videos, live videos, all that stuff to try to build up that content so it's worth it as possible. Excuse me, but. The last, all our Tuesday shows are live for free. You come on, you guys know, you can come and comment and all that stuff. But then after they're over, about the next day, I'll put those members only. Now on that show, Gunny, this past Tuesday night, I made a bunch of very bold New York Jets predictions that I thought would happen. I had 5 of them. One of them was the Alan Lazard thing, 515 yards if he's our wide receiver 3. I'm going to just, even though I want people to get a membership and I want people to go and check out last Tuesday's show if they haven't, I'm going to just give them to you now. I want to see what you think of them.
All right,
here we go. So there was the Alan Lazard one. Then my other one was Jermaine Johnson and Reddick will combine for 20 sacks.
Oh, at least.
Okay.
100% agree. 100% agree.
And like I said, I don't know if it'll be 10-10. It could be, 11.
Combined.
Yeah, combined 12 sacks. I said this one earlier, so I might change this to 6-0. The division record is going to be 5-1, and I said the loss to the Bills, but now maybe I'll switch that to a loss versus the Dolphins. But I don't even know.
Yeah.
But most years the Dolphins home games, it's like MetLife South. Like Jets fans are just down there. So.
Yeah,
okay.
But I like that prediction, right? I think we split with the Dolphins. I think we can sweep the Patriots, and I think we can sweep the Bills now. I had this before at 4-2. We were going to split with the Bills and split with the Dolphins. But now, I'm the Patriots don't scare me at all. Josh Allen already struggles against the New York Jets defense year in and year out. Now you've lost your number 1 and your number 2 freaking targets. You're making it easier for our guys to cover whoever you decide to try out there. Curtis Samuel, man, y'all better pray y'all find a way to trade up and grab a legitimate wide receiver 1. So now I think it's going to be a sweep. So I still think the Miami Dolphins offense is so potent that they might sneak one by us.
Yes, they it's a possibility. I see we actually have Dano in the green room, so we're going to bring him in 1 second. I have 2 more to read out to Gunny that I've my bold predictions.
You're breaking up a little.
And then J.E. says, back to Yari failed his physical. That was it. He didn't fail a physical in New York. He failed a physical in Green Bay. That can always be worked out.
Green Bay. Yeah, that was in Green Bay.
Yeah, in Green Bay. All right, so my last 2 predictions. Breece Hall, just rushing, not all purpose. His rushing yards will be 1,212 yards.
Yeah, I think Yeah, like that's. I don't. Okay, so these are going to be what happens, or these are supposed to be hot takes.
No, these are what
I think you're making some logical. Yeah, those are some logical takes that I think you're.
Yeah, he's not outlandish.
With a healthy team.
Yeah.
With a healthy team, this is what I think that
yeah,
would, like, happen.
I'll go even further. I think Breece Hall, again, everybody stays healthy, is going to be the rushing champion. I think it'll be the rushing champion because I think once we start taking leads, I think so. I don't think we want to put too much pressure on Aaron Rodgers. I think that they want to go ahead and utilize that defense to go ahead and control games and the running game. Hey, take the lead, feed the beast, and freaking let the defense.
And that offensive line is going to block for him.
Exactly. That offensive line is built to block for the running game. Like dogs.
It's close to the Terrell Davis Denver Broncos heyday.
I think we're going to try to take as much off of Aaron Rodgers' plate as possible.
Final one. This is my final one.
All right.
Aaron Rodgers will have 32 touchdown passes.
Agreed.
Yeah,
and I think that's
and comeback player of the year.
Least controversial take, to be honest.
You know, actually, yeah, that one is the least controversial one, and I think he'll be the comeback player of the year.
Yeah,
right. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Dano with us.
Dano, what's good, bro?
Dano, what's up, buddy?
That's my
guy. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, Gunny, I promise I'm not following you.
No, it's all good. I'll keep following me, man. I love chopping it up with you.
No, yeah, dude, Gunny, I mean, you guys know, but he's one of the more rational guys, and that's what I appreciate. There's nothing as you can probably see my little tagline, man. There's few things I hate, but one is someone who just echoes something that they heard verbatim. Yes. Another is just people who fly off the handle when they hear like the slightest nugget of info without like actually digging, digging into
my videos.
What's that?
As I said, don't watch some of my videos. If when the Jets do stuff, I literally fly off the handle.
Well, you kind of have incentive to, so that I would, I'd forget about that. But
when you go off the handle, it's deserved.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Jets Twitter Spaces though, like I have to be in a good mood to go over there because if I'm not, then I'm probably getting banned. Some of the stuff that you guys already hit on. Let me throw a hot take out there. Is it a hot take if I said that I think that Lazard and Izzy will combine for 1,000 yards?
Oh, that's a tough one.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Is it hot? Don't you don't have to say you agree with me, but is it hot?
I don't know if it's a hot take or not.
I don't know if it's a hot. Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a good take.
Well, because I'm already saying that Lazard will get 500, so then all I'm needing is Izzy to get 500 behind Breece.
But you're assuming that those guys are at the same place on the depth chart as they are now.
Well, yeah, I would say Lazard would have to be 3 and Izzy would have to be 2.
Yeah, and I think Izzy will be 2. I don't know if Lazard will be 3. I don't know if Lazard will be 3. So because you know what, I'm going to say it is a hot take. Because
if I have to go 1,200, I'll do it because that's how high I am on these guys.
What I'm going to say is this: it's a hot take, but it's like a Mexican restaurant. The salsa they give you hot take. Like
it's a mild hot take. It's like a mild hot take
because I really can get behind it.
Well, if we bring in a veteran still, like Dobbins, if we bring in Dobbins, my take's screwed. If we sign or if we draft Odunze, I'm screwed. So I feel like it's a hot take now, but in August,
training camp, not so much.
Yeah,
huge. Like it's an asterisk take.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna say
predict it right now.
I'm gonna say it's a hot take, and this is why I don't believe wide receiver 3 will be Lazard. Even if we don't get somebody in the first, I think they're gonna grab somebody in the third. And this wide receiver class is so freaking deep, they're going to find somebody that I think can outplay Lazard, even in the third round. Too many of these guys have first round grades, second round grades will be dropping to the third because of other needs. It's just unfortunate for them, but great for guys like the Jets who need, you know what I'm saying, legitimate wide receiver help. So I think I'll say it's a hot take because I don't believe Lazard will be wide receiver 3. I think he will drop to wide receiver 4 after the draft. And even if they bring in, I think Dobbins or a Zeke Elliott, which I would be okay with both, preferably Zeke Elliott actually as a great RB3. I think in terms of what Izzy can do in the passing game, like catching the ball out of the backfield and breaking one, he kind of gives you that element like of a Brees Hall. So I think when Brees needs to actually rest, he'll still be RB2. I'm going to still say it's a hot take though, only because of the Lazard thing. I think he'll be wide receiver 4.
Like,
And
nobody wants to give Lazard the love, man.
Dude, I do though. When
I will, but I'll tell you this. If he's not wide receiver 3 and Izzy isn't wide receiver 2, it's not happening. If they are, I still do think it's kind of a hot take because you're expecting both our wide receiver 3 and our running back 2 to perform at like the
plus.
best level they could
At their slot.
Yeah, but think of it this way too. A Garrett Wilson sprained ankle one of the preseason games could literally make Lazard wide receiver 1. Wide receiver 1
out there, Dano. We're not even going to put that into the ether. We're not doing that here.
Okay, fair enough. But Mike Williams is a cardboard wide receiver 2 right now. Is what I'm getting at.
So when you say cardboard wide receiver,
I'm rational.
No.
When you say a cardboard wide receiver 2, what do you mean?
I mean that week 1 is in doubt, I think.
Okay.
If it isn't in doubt, then it's going to take him time. You're talking about a guy who's not going to have a single day of practice with Aaron Rodgers all summer.
Well, he can do walkthroughs. He can do the walkthrough stuff.
Yeah, he'll do walkthroughs.
Assuming health.
He's going to study guides. Like, he's going to read the books.
And this is a veteran. This is a veteran guy.
Let's put it this way. Lazard had 700 snaps last year. Okay? Gibson had 500. He's not going to have 500 again. And I think we'll pass more. But that's 1,300 snaps.
And Hackett realized that Brees Hall can play football.
What about Brownlee? What did Brownlee have?
Well, Brownlee had
I love Brownlee.
200. Brownlee had 300.
I mean, see, that's the thing. Like,
so who's coming down? Who's going up?
We definitely need to bring in another wide receiver. I mean, you're right, because God forbid Garrett Wilson or Mike Williams, can't perform.
Either or.
We can't have Alan Lazard as our number 1 receiver.
That's what I'm saying.
No, you're right.
What I also think.
He can also, Rodgers can also, we have a great tight end room. And then that magic happened where everyone realized you could throw the ball to Brees.
Yeah.
Good segue.
Man.
Good segue.
So let's have faith that Rodgers would have good receiving tight ends. He'll have Brees out of the backfield, and he'll at least have another wide receiver, Mike Williams or Garrett Wilson. I mean,
fair.
They all can't go down, right? God forbid.
Honestly, the reason why I signed up for that take is because I do think that Izzy gets 100 carries this year. And people, literally 90% of people that I talk to want to throw away Izzy. Like, literally bury him. Dude, he was only in on 70 snaps. And he only had 20 carries, and guess what? They were all after AVT went down. All of them. Like, the guy hasn't shown anything yet, so I don't get it. I really don't.
I mean, look, I think he could be a running back. I don't see why he doesn't need to be our running back too. But then again, the same thing goes with what you said about if Garrett goes down or whatever. If Brees goes down, then are we really ready to go into the season as Izzy as our number 1 running back? I mean, once again, with this offensive line, if the offensive line stays healthy, there is so much predicated on the health of our team. It's ridiculous.
We don't need them all to stay healthy, though. I mean, that would be ridiculous. It would be ridiculous if we needed all of them. But
I'm just saying, right now, we need our number 1 in each skill position, pretty much, to not go down because you can't have Brees go down. You can't have Brees go down. You can't have Garrett go down. You can't have Rodgers go down. It's like
yes.
Any of those happen, we're in pretty big trouble.
we're very top heavy on offense when you think about it. Like in terms of talent, like we got some great talent on the offense side of football, but we're top heavy because the guys after them, we were all like,
Yes.
eh.
It drops
Yeah,
off
he's not
pretty
wrong.
quick.
He's 100% right.
Well, the reason, and it's not that I even like Lazard. It's just that, like, looking at the snap counts and knowing, like, whoever gets snaps and is on that field, you're not gonna get, like, there's not gonna be preferential treatment. Like, you're gonna get targets if you're out there, and that's why I think, like, if he gets 500 reps and Izzy is splitting the load behind Brees, that the yards will be there. I don't know. That's just me. Same with Conklin. You guys were talking Conklin.
Love Conklin.
It might be. Let me ask you this: is it a hot take to say that if you put Conklin in the past, that he would be the best pass catcher that Aaron's ever had at tight end, minus Jimmy Graham? That was ridiculous.
I mean, I think Conklin. God, I love Conklin. I love Ruckert. I honestly think they're both going to have much more productive seasons this year.
I agree. I really like both our tight ends, and I really think that when utilized, and I think they will be utilized less than they should be, but they will excel.
Not
when they are
was Jermichael Finley playing with Aaron Rodgers? Did Jermichael Finley ever?
And his best season was just shy at 800 with 8 touchdowns, but nothing else even close.
Yeah, and I think that's the best tight end season any tight end has had with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it probably is. Well, Tunyon had 10, but
he had the touchdowns, but not the yards.
Come on, yeah.
We should have filmed this segment earlier when it's not live, because I'm like sitting here having to go, shit, I gotta think. Like honestly, these are great questions and they're great takes. And
well, there's
like,
4 of us.
It's really fun though, but I'm sitting there going, God damn, dude, there's so much dead space when I'm going, hold on.
Gunny, what was that percentage you said about him targeting tight ends?
19% career target rate for tight ends.
Okay, let me ask you this. Would you rather have 19% for Conklin, or would you rather have 80% for Conklin from Zach Wilson?
19% sounds great for Conklin.
yeah, I'm sorry, man. I have 100%. To go with that one easily. But now let's not be unfair. Rodgers could get into this play scheme and realize I can really hit my tight ends and make it worth my time. You know what I mean? So nothing's impossible. And he might just be like, dude, my tight ends are always open, or my tight ends are always doing something. I can always use them. And, situations are changeable. He might just be like, that fucking Ruggard kid is a fucking tank. And next thing I know, his arms are in the air. I'm going to try and get him. So let's give it. What I want to see with this question is the preseason.
Yeah.
And again, I always say I love the preseason, which is a total lie because I usually watch about 8 minutes of each game. But
dude, I watch them all.
8 real minutes.
Like I watch the first 8 minutes, and then I'm like, oh, something's twinkling outside. I'm gonna go wander around my yard. But
dude, I'm watching the UFL right now. I'll watch any football that's on.
I wish I could say I was. I have totally.
Is anybody watching UConn? Like.
No, I'm in Connecticut, and people here go nuts for this.
Dude,
12 minutes left, and it's tied.
Wow.
It's tied right now? I turn off my TV because I always leave it on, and I get distracted and fuck around and feel like I'm a terrible.
Hey, Mike, I got to jump off, brother. I got to go grab my daughter.
No problem. Hey,
Gunny, thank you for being here, man.
Thank you so much. And if you can, it's Thursday, Thick of It. And if they want to catch your live show, they go to New York Jets Situation Report on YouTube, correct?
Correct. That is correct, on Tuesday nights at 7:30 p.m. Central.
You are welcome back literally anytime, man.
You tell me when, Mike.
Call in whenever you want. You've been a great guest. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys. All right, Maddie, Mike, Dano. Y'all have a good night, boys. Everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. All
right, ladies and gentlemen, I am trying to get to your comments, but let me tell you, I am backed up.
It's a busy night tonight. We're having a good night. Like guys, I want to say this. If he doesn't get to your comments or whatever, it's not because he doesn't want to. It's just because everybody's talking. We're having a
Yeah,
good time.
and I'm the only one
Yeah,
comment.
I don't have access.
Oh, by the way, I want to tell you guys. But let me do this. Yusef, he says, I think we definitely need 2 more O linemen, of course. And I hated our backup QBs. Now, are you talking about last season or are you talking about this season? Because Tyrod Taylor's better than anything we had on the team last year.
100%.
So I'll say that right off the bat. But I want to tell you guys where I went earlier today, and this is where the show kind of sometimes goes a little bit off. But here in Connecticut, in New Haven, we have it's recognized by the Library of Congress as the first place to serve hamburgers in the United States, and it's called Louis Lunch.
Okay.
And I went over there today, and I just want to show you this picture real quick. There I am outside of Louis Lunch. It was established in 1895, and the reason it's a little different. The reason it's a little different is that at this place, you first off, you can't pick what you want on your burger. It's either a cheeseburger or hamburger, and then you either get onion or tomato or both, whatever. But that's it. And it's served on white sandwich bread that's toasted. Okay, and it's been served the same way since 1895. And there's no condiments in the place. You cannot get mustard. You cannot get ketchup. They don't even have it in the place because of the way their patties and everything are made. And I want to show you, I took a picture. This is what it looks like. You see these 3 like black grills in the middle? You basically take a grill, fold them onto the burgers, and then you stick the burgers sideways into these grills, and it cooks them from both sides. And they have had these side cooking grills since 1895.
This looks like they would like burn baby witches.
And that toaster, by the way, where it's toasting the white bread, that's
Right.
that's a toaster from 1925.
That's awesome.
So I just want to give a shout out to Louis Lunch, because it wasn't the best burger I've ever had. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the best burger I ever had, but since I'm a ketchup guy and I put ketchup on everything, it was kind of nice to go in. No, but it was kind of nice to. Not everything. Like I won't put it on steak. I'm not my sister. I'm
okay,
not
all right.
No.
Scrambled eggs.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
I'll give you that.
Same here.
So
I get a lot of crap for
this,
that.
my birthday is National Hamburger Day.
Oh, nice. You should take a trip to Louis Lunch.
I might have to if Mama Johnson lets me.
Yeah, another alone trip for you.
Hey, you know what? Go to hell. That was a great trip. You know what? You got to meet me, and most people have to pay for that.
So are Saturdays drink friendly?
Oh, absolutely. I've actually
what
Maddie's
the hell do you think is in this?
I was hoping. I was like, all right, I don't want to be the only guy just chilling.
Dude, I watch these shows for the first time a Sunday morning.
Oh,
yeah, no, we usually always have drinks, but I'm not, because I've had a stomach bug for the past like 4 or 5 days.
This poor son of a bitch has been sick for so
Can I
long.
submit a guess for the game behind you?
Yeah, sure.
Is it the game that Sean Green plows through the Chargers?
I need to know the 2 teams, and
Gotta be more specific.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me what you need.
So what are the 2 teams?
The Chargers and the Jets.
Yep. And then what year was this game, and what was significant about it?
This was the This was.
I think he's got it.
Damn it, Henry. This is the wild card game that we beat the Chargers the first year we were there, 2009.
I will give it to you. It's a divisional round
game, but
I'll still give it to you because it was the 2009 playoffs, Jets, Chargers. And by the way, if I do catch anyone else in the comments that got it up until this point, I will definitely anyone. Please. Hey, listen, I'm on Twitter at Midnight Mike Show, MIDNITE Mike Show. Follow me.
I don't want anything. Can I just hang out with you guys for a bit? I mean, if you want to,
absolutely hang out. But I'm saying you, or if anyone else got the game right, and you DM me your address or your PO box or anything, I got them to send out. So it's not like
stickers.
Yeah, got the Midnight Mike Show,
nice.
Midnight Mike Show Jet sticker.
It'll go right to. You can't see it, but I got a magnet.
Hell yeah, man! If I get a PO box or an address or something, I will send them out. I've actually got a kind of get all those together because I got people messaging me on Instagram. I got people messaging me on Twitter. So I want to get all the addresses together and get them all out in one fell swoop. But yes, 2009 Jets Chargers. Jets win. Obviously, head to the AFC Championship game. We all know what happened there. And hey, everybody out there, you can help us out, all of us out, by just hitting that thumbs up. So right now, go down below if you haven't. Hit that thumbs up. When I go outside after going off the air tonight, I do want to see us break that live show like record. So please do that.
If you're enjoying the show, just give us a thumbs up. It's not hard. It's not going to really mess with your algorithm, but we appreciate it.
So let me know. I have a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask you, so you guys weren't on my algorithm. Like, I'm huge on YouTube with calling in all the shows, watching them all. But you guys never hit my algorithm until literally, like I said, this is my third weekend. I'm wondering if it wasn't because Jets wasn't in your title. But with that said, just to get to know you guys, how long have you been fans? Like, and don't say the year you were born. Say, like, your first memories of the Jets. You know what I mean?
Well, my first memory would be 1983. I was 5, and my dad took me to some games, and it's been
83. Did you get to see the sack exchange then?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
My first game was 1984, but I don't remember it. But my dad, like when I was younger, would always take all my tickets, and then he'd give them to me, and then my mom would put them in like a scrapbook. So my first game was in 1984. But I don't remember a game till 1985. So I do remember going in 1985, and I have a 1985 New York Jets yearbook magazine. That they used to. Do they still do that? I don't even know if they still do that.
I think they do, but you have to like go to the gift shop and like pay $35.
They used to have them at every beer stand and every whatever you could buy them.
Yeah, it's like they still have programs, but like. For like the yearbook or anything else, you have to go to like the gift shop and pay, but then it looks like a little paperback book.
Yeah, and I'd say like I grew up, like I had the Mark Gastineau starting lineup figure and the Kenny O'Brien starting lineup figure, and I had the shirts that said like Jets on the front and it said like 99 on the back. And then I'd say that, and if you've only caught us since like a week or two ago, I've talked about this before, but the most famous game that I was at this fake spike. And that was so joyous the first half of the game and completely miserable by the end.
I remember it. What year was that? Because I remember it.
1994.
Okay, yeah. I remember the Keyshawn pick because that's when that is when I decided to be a Jets fan. So I grew up in a Cowboys household in Steeler country, and they were going to the Super Bowl against each other. And my school was trying to recruit me to be Steeler fans, and my family was trying to get me to be a Cowboys fan. And I said, bleep you all. And I said, give me the worst team in the NFL.
There you go.
Well, you found us.
Yeah, we were 1-15 the year before.
Yeah,
but you picked
pretty
98
good yeah,
dude, 98. Hell yeah.
You went from 1-15 to 9-7 to 12-4 in the playoffs. So I'll tell you, man, that was a lucky pick by you.
Dude, that offense, and I'm sorry. Before when he said Chad Pennington, I about called in then, and I'm like, no, you wash your mouth. It's Vinny. If it's one game, it's Vinny. It's Vinny.
Yeah, and like I said, at their best, and at Vinny's best, he can throw four touchdowns in the fourth quarter. So
I was just gonna say, did you ever see those Pro Bowl Hawaii ones they used to do? And he set the record. Like, dude threw 80 yards.
Yeah, no. Oh, Vinny is awesome. I will never shit talk Vinny.
He will die on this hill.
My Vinny jersey's sitting right over there. So he was the first quarterback, like after once again, Ken O'Brien, I loved watching and I believed in Ken O'Brien, but then we had so many years of just miserable play through the 90s that when Vinny showed up, it was like an angel from heaven.
Yeah.
And for him to give me that, I will always, for the rest of my life, die on the Vinny Testaverde hill.
Fair.
All right.
And go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just trying to get to, because there's so many comments and I'm so far behind and I feel bad for everybody. See, Ted, you weren't supposed to answer anyway because you already won one of these contest games. You're gonna get a sticker, Ted.
I just want to say I'm really stoked at how many comments we have. I love our fan base. I don't want to say fan base, like you're just our guys, you're our people. And
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Like, I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
BMAC. Hey, that Bernard Dixon is AKA BMAC, and he also, a lot of the Jets fan community does frequent a lot of shows. Well, I do know that guy. He goes by BMAC.
I mean, I watch tons of them, and that's why I do these late night shows. And I say I'm your late night Jets host because when I started this show, I never wanted to step on, like, because I watch Jake Asman and I watch Green Bean and Matt O'Leary and Ryan and I watch I watch Gunny, I watch Ian, Jets Central, and none of these guys were going way late into the night, and I was like, well, Saturday nights, Saturday nights I'll do the 9 p.m. show, and it's like, if it costs me some listeners or some viewers, it is what it is. At least I'm not, acting like, because I didn't want to come into this and have anybody else be like, oh, why is this new guy? Like, I know I wouldn't be taking viewers from them, but even if I'm getting let's say I'm getting 5 people watching, I don't want them being like, hey, who's this guy who's just broadcasting against us? Like, I knew I just wanted to be I just wanted to take a time where I knew no one else. So then we do this show, and then we do Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. after Talking Jets goes off the air.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I work second shift and I have weekends off and I have late nights off, and those guys do not operate after 10 o'clock or on weekends. So that time slot, dude, yeah, I see why.
Well, we will be here.
We are your Huckleberry.
Yep.
Yeah, if you ever see me, this is my avatar. You'll see me super.
Oh yeah, no, we know. I love the avatar, by the way.
Hey man, that's my guy.
A Stu says, again, if New York Jets are truly all in, then all 2025 26 first second rounders should be up on the table to get us an extra first. Look, there's a difference between being all in and betting the farm. Like that would literally, like, if it doesn't work out, I mean, look, and I've said this before too. It's like, how many years of the 40 plus years I've been a Jets fan have we been in a shit or rebuilding year? I'd say like 30 of them. Yeah. And then 5 of them we were okay. And then 5 of them we were good. So I
don't want to burn down like the next 8 years.
That's okay. Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Because the new thing is, would you sign up to hoist the Lombardi if the following 4 years were 2 and 15 seasons?
Yeah, absolutely.
4 years in a row.
Look, man, I'd kill my mom in front of my brother for that.
Well, let me ask you this, though. That's assuming that all 32 teams are starting in the same place. But for me, knowing the core we have right now and how close we are, I would not sign up for that because it means that core is gone afterwards.
Look, if the Jets win a Super Bowl this year,
we will.
If we win the Super Bowl this year, we can go 0-17 for 10 years. I don't give a shit.
Okay, slow down.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I've done 40 years.
Shut your whore mouth. I will say,
I don't think it would take that, man.
If the devil pops up in my office right now, like he's like sitting right here where Sasha usually is, and is like, hey, here's the deal. You guys win the Super Bowl this year, and for the next 5 years, you win 3 games. I'm taking it.
Okay, then why aren't you trading all them picks from 2025 like that guy said?
Because that's 5 years, not 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, he's right. And of course, when I said the 10-year thing, it's like, that's me. I go immediately by emotion. But the thing is that if the Jets win the Super Bowl this year, and let's say we go 0-17 for the next 3 years, I'm okay with that because that's 3 first-round picks. We can dump the rest of the team, plenty of salary cap. And if I
Makes
as
sense.
a Jets fan can't deal with 3 terrible seasons, then where have I been for the past 40 years? Because
I
that's normal.
can
What
do
if
3
you have
terrible
no-
seasons on my head underwater.
What if you have nothing left, man? Like,
I've had nothing left for 40
This is-
years, man.
no, honestly, my take is that this 5-year window has, for me, a floor of 1.
Okay.
So I
floor of
wouldn't
1
sign
what?
that deal. I think that like my expectation is 1.5 Lombardis. Like,
So you want
do you
more
get what I'm
than-
saying?
Yeah,
No,
so you
yeah,
want
like,
at least-
I see what you're saying. I do.
The potential of this team, the way as constructed, I think could win between 1 and 2. Is what I'm
I
getting
get
at.
what you're saying, but what I'm saying is going back to my whole deal with the devil thing.
It is hard to
I will take the guarantee. Like, I'm sorry.
Is that
I will.
By the
take
way, BMAC is a Packers fan, so I don't know what that question is.
is
and-
Rodgers injury prone? Well, then if he's a Packers fan, he should know that he's not.
You might want to drop the link. He
Subtle
might join us.
addendum to my deal with the devil. I am negotiating for a clause that I forget I made that deal, just so I can enjoy the seasons.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Like, part of winning it all is the chance to repeat. But to
Right.
know, like, that now you get to say no more, nothing, no trash talk ever.
But as Jets fans, we have been starved for so long. Like, literally. You
No,
tell me
I get
Charlie
it.
Brown.
Real quick.
Charlie Brown wouldn't make a deal with
This
Satan to kick
hold
that
on.
football
This
one
comment below, Maddie, is funny because it's
Let's
telling me
hear
you're using voice to text without telling me you're using voice to text.
time. Okay, let's see.
If we pick up 2 more office alignment, which I assume is offensive
Have
linemen,
you seen my stapler?
wow, we still have a chance at and another wide receiver by the time drive come. You automatically should know, boy.
I was
Yeah.
told I could listen to the radio.
It's
and
that, or
listen to
you know
the
what?
volume.
It's most likely translating, or what's that thing called? That
Yeah, it could be. It
translation.
could be a translate thing. Yusuf, we're working on it. We're trying to figure it out.
No, I don't. I it's got to be voice to text because that kind of shit happens all the time with me.
It
Now
might
that
be
one I
voice to text, but
understand.
it might be translate too.
He's saying Brian Thomas can have a better career than Rome. Yeah,
I don't agree with that one.
we'll say, once again with when you're in the draft, it's like you can never tell because
No.
you look at these guys and you look at who would have thought that pretty much the entire Trevor Lawrence draft class would be Trevor Lawrence playing like
C+.
mediocre for what it was
Mhm.
expected to be playing by now, and then everyone else terrible. Like who would have thought? Like
Part of me really gets a perverse thrill out of that. I love it. Like I know
You
it
guys-
hurt us, but I'm just like everybody else is fucked too. Go to hell.
People don't realize how much of a crapshoot it is. It's like, it's not just you watch the tape and you know who to take. Like, for one, we don't even get to see what happens behind closed doors. Like, and that's a lot of it. You mean you
All right,
get
I'm gonna
to-
swing
you
down
get
and-
to-
I gotta step
Yeah.
away for like 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
That is fine. I'm
Sure.
actually going all the way down to the bottom because there's just so many, just to see if there are any super chats. Because if someone did super chat, I do not want to ignore that. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, guys. If you do super chat, it's gonna happen, so don't worry. But let's see. Now I'm all lost again. What am I gonna do?
What you know what? Can I give you advice as a
Yeah.
someone who gobbles up content and is a viewer 90% of the time? Like, I would rather you go to the bottom and stay there rather than be behind because the conversation's already changed by the time you got to it.
That
And
is good.
if you skip something of mine that's really important, I can go up, copy it, and paste it again.
That's true, and write it again.
Yeah.
You are right.
Because then you are in the flow of what they're talking. Because it's a conversation of its own down there. I promise you that.
Well, let's see how that works. I went all the way down to the bottom. Let's see what we have at the bottom. Hyro, did I say hi to you yet? What's up, man? It's good to have you back. San Francisco, Detroit Rams all gave up multiple picks to build. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I agree. They gave up multiple picks, but the Jets, think about it. How many picks do we need to actually give up? We have Aaron Rodgers, a Hall of Famer at quarterback. We have Brees Hall, who should have won Comeback Player of the Year, who would have won Offensive Player of the Year his rookie year had he not gone down. Then we do have the Offensive Player of the Year at wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, and he's proved himself with 2,000-yard seasons. I mean, what else do we need to give up? I mean, on the defensive side, Quincy Williams, CJ Mosley, Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed. It's like we have it. So right now, all we need is the depth. We don't need to be giving up number ones and things like the future number ones to get back, depth guys. That's all I'm saying.
It's overkill. Like, and if you let some of these fans have control, they would overkill it. They would.
Yeah.
Chemistry is a real thing too. Am I wrong? Chemistry, it makes a difference.
No,
like
you're
you
not
can't
wrong.
just throw a whole bunch of shit in a pot and expect, like, I don't know.
Hey, Yusuf, listen. No one on this channel will ever have to prove their Jets fandom.
We know you're
believe you.
here.
Yeah, if you're watching a New York Jets show on a Saturday night at like 11 o'clock, then yeah, I'd say you're a Jets fan.
That's what I always tell people. Like, people are like, oh, you're a Jets fan. Oh, you from New York? Who the fuck else would be? Like,
Hey, I'm out of market, but I just had to be different.
no, it's cool, but like I always tell people, like I'll be wearing a Jets hoodie and like at a bar, and like some jackass look and be like, "Yo, man, you really a Jets fan?" Like, no, I'm wearing this to get chicks. Fuck off, man. Like,
I'm telling you,
Jets
in Connecticut where I'm at, I feel like it's just as rare to see someone wearing something Jets as it would be to be in Denver.
yeah.
I didn't
Well,
know you were-
again, having been in Connecticut, it is all either Patriots or Giants.
Yeah, I will literally see like one person every couple weeks, and we'll both like see each other in the supermarket. We'll like look at each other and be like, "Oh, yeah," like, and that's it. It's just understood, you know.
If I need a blood transfusion or a kidney, I know you've got me.
Greg
UConn,
says
are you a
8
UConn
years
fan?
old when the Jets won the Super Bowl III. It's time to win now. Well, hey man, at least you got to see
At
it.
least you were alive for it, man.
Absolutely. I would have given anything to have seen the Jets win a Super Bowl. Greg, you got to win. Those born in the 70s have been fleeced. Yeah. Late 70s, especially 70s, 80s. Even kids in the 90s.
Anybody born after 69 has been fleeced.
Do
Monique
you
says
guys
need to
think?
stay. Well, you really want
Good.
OBJ, Monique.
Ooh,
I
Nick,
can't-
I
Ew.
I love
I didn't
you,
even
Nick,
want him last
but
year.
no, I didn't
Yeah.
want him last year, and I really don't want him this year.
Do you think that JD and Salah are married at the hip?
No, I hope
Me
not.
either. Thank you.
No, I think they have a lot of differences of opinion. I think they have a lot of talking to do.
Yeah, I mean, we
That's how
kind
it
of talked about this earlier, and we've talked about it before on the show. But Joe Douglas did his job, man.
Yeah.
It's like in the off, like when last season ended, everyone was like, Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh's jobs are on the line. They need to pick it up and prove their worth. Well, Joe Douglas so far has done it. So now
Yeah,
Robert Saleh needs to take it and prove his worth.
Douglas has done everything the fans have wanted him to do. We've all bitched. We're like, holy shit, our offensive line's a mess. Fixed it. We need a quarterback too. Fixed it. We need a wide receiver too. Fixed it. I can't say anything bad about Joe Douglas right now because every bitch I've had, he has
Squashed.
addressed. And I'm sure that he listens to me and follows me on Twitter under a burner account. You know, naturally.
That's his name's Yusef.
Yeah, he's probably one of those cam girls that I'm like, oh, okay, great. You know.
Honestly, though, you know how hard it was to get Joe Douglas in the first place? Like,
Right.
do not throw that guy away. Like, it's the people that overly scrutinize every single calorie he burns that want to get rid of him. And you got to look at the whole.
But we have to be fair. Last season, nothing happened.
True.
Like, none of our problems that sprang up during the season were addressed, really. So,
Do you think if Aaron, can I ask you this? Do you think if Aaron blows out his Achilles week 10 instead of week 1, that more progress would have been made with Zach to where it wouldn't have been so glaring that we didn't have any other options?
Well, I would ask you, what would the record have been at week 10?
Yeah.
And the reason I say
at week 10?
Yeah, like if we're in the hypothetical, Aaron Rodgers blows out his Achilles at week 10 and they're 8-2, you got a lot of wiggle room. Versus,
Fair.
Well, but also, does it change how Zach would have performed anyway?
It's possible.
I think
he would have had a whole season of learning.
I
correct.
think so.
What I'm saying is whether he was if he's learning from Aaron Rodgers, he's learning from Aaron Rodgers. It doesn't matter.
He needs to see someone else do it well, I think, and he never got to.
Right.
I mean, yes, but usually when you get into the NFL, you yourself has seen yourself do it well in
usually
college and it's or just watch some film on any quarterback. Watch Joe Montana, watch Tom Brady, watch anybody.
I genuinely feel like these what if questions about the Jets are just frustrating because they could go any which way but lose. Who knows, man? Zach Wilson sits for 6 games, watches Aaron Rodgers, and turns into a superstar. Zach Wilson, always a dud. We don't know. I mean, it's a fun thing to talk about, but in general,
no, fair.
It's just, I mean, I honestly, I want to put last season behind us so bad because it was
fair. I won't mention it. It's just they're so hard. I mean, it's early April. What else? I'm done talking Pick 10 as well.
I agree with you because we've talked about this too. I'm so sick of talking about the draft.
Well, that's one thing our channel, Dano, that's one thing our channel we don't do. We don't do mock drafts. We don't do any of these hypothetical things in the off season. We try to come up with other things to talk about because there's so many other channels not only doing it, but they do it well.
Yeah.
And so we just Maddie brought up everyone's porn names a couple weeks ago, and now that's carried through. And we've talked about the most outrageous stuff. And that's what this show is supposed to do.
And late night show, theater, which I really think is a great feature on our show. I think it might.
Which, by the way, I don't think we could get to tonight because we are running short on time. It's almost up to the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, we can put it back. I mean, but I don't know if you watched the homework assignment there, Dan.
Oh, I watched it and I loved it.
I was gonna say, what'd you think, Mike?
I loved it.
It was
Dan,
so
if you don't know what we're talking about, every Saturday night we do a segment called Midnight Mike Show Theater. And it's either I'll pick something or Maddie will pick something, and it'll be something that everyone can watch, a YouTube video that's 5 to 10 to 15 minutes long, and it'll usually be involving football. So we did in the past, I had a highlight video from the Monday Night Miracle, and we just watched that and we talked about it and whatever. So we did that. We did the Masters of the Gridiron that the Cleveland Browns did in 1986. You ever see it where they did like a Conan the Barbarian Masters of the Universe mini movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's horrible. It's embarrassing.
It's so bad. It's
horrible, but it's so funny.
My favorite though has been the Buffalo Bills alternate history.
We did last week. NFL Films for Super Bowl 50 did a alternate history of the Buffalo Bills, and they did like a 6-7 minute video as if the Bills won those 4 Super Bowls.
It's
and
hilarious.
Jim Kelly's in it, Thurman Thomas is in it, Phil Sims is in it, and they're all talking as if Bills.
You remember NFL that they used to do? It sounds very similar. It was a segment they did called NFL, and they did wild stuff. Yeah, but dude, you'll have to throw that link in the comments. I'll check that one out too, and whatever you plug tonight.
Twitter with it because I'm already intrigued.
What are your Twitters?
I'm at Midnight Mike Show, but it's I always spell. Hold on, I'll bring it up on the screen for anyone. This is also, by the way, Instagram, Letterboxd. All those things. There it is.
Midnight.
Okay. Twitter.
It's the midnight. You got to be careful how you spell.
Yep. And you want to? Hey, you know what? If I spelt it the regular way, it wouldn't fit. That's literally the exact amount of letters needed for a Twitter handle.
Interesting.
So Midnight Mike Show fit very nicely.
Mine's
But
at
yes,
Matty Jets, and I always fall back.
What is
Dano,
it? Matty
I will.
Jets?
Yeah,
Okay.
like literally my screen name, just one.
Not to be confused with NYJ Matt.
No,
Yeah,
that motherfucker
sandwich
got
guy.
way popular,
Yeah, he did.
and good for him. But
I think he works on
he's a funny guy.
X Factor, and so does like I do the show, which I didn't get to promote tonight. Search the Undroppables, folks, on all your major podcast platforms, and I do a show called Jets Uncovered with Honest Abe and Tommy Jets, and I think Tommy works on Jets X Factor with New York Jets Matt, if I'm not mistaken. But
Weirdest man cave ever. Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's
you.
signed Tanya Harding card. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, hey, as soon as we get off here, I will follow you back 100%.
Yeah, I'll hit you
You're
back
good.
for sure.
Bro, you're good. Yeah.
But yes, we do have to end out this show. So Dano, thank you so much for calling in. Listen, we're here Tuesday nights 10 p.m.
Yeah, come back
We're here
Tuesday.
Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Whenever you want to come back, please feel free. Sometimes it'll be for longer, sometimes it'll be for shorter. Tonight kind of threw me off because Gunny stuck around. You came in, you and Gunny had your thing, which was awesome.
Well,
But
Joe, it's like we don't.
no, it was a great show. I had a great time, and
amazing.
I want to point out people need to hit those like buttons to beat that record. Beat that record, folks. But yes, Dano, thank you so much, and hopefully we will see you soon.
Yeah. Guys, I am excited for you guys to watch what I had picked for Midnight Mike Theater, but I'm not going to complain. It was a great show tonight. We had amazing guests, great comments. So we'll get to it next week. No big deal. I mean, it's not.
Well, if people want to know, it's what is 34. You search 34, the number 34, the number 30, and then S
T
T
U L.
Yeah. But it's
a little dark, but
it's
if you're
funny.
watching this show, you're not here to fucking watch Full House.
I love Full House.
Well,
sorry,
you know
man.
what I mean, though. But like you probably you're the same type of person who could watch like Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and Dave
There you go.
Chappelle. You like,
and
you
another thing, I know you. I think you know because you saw my mug one time. But a lot of the guys in this documentary are Crowder, or at least old Crowder boys.
I didn't know that. Like, I literally don't know anything about it. I just was like,
well, Dave Landau is a great comedian, and he's in it. And I forget what role he plays. I think he plays like a reporter or an old coach.
I genuinely don't know any of these guys. I just
and then Porter Black Garrett is in it, and both of those guys are old Crowder guys.
Okay.
So I'm watching. I'm like, I know these guys.
The thing cracked me up. I mean, it was so funny, and I'm honestly kind of a little excited that we're getting an extra week for anybody who missed it, because I really, really want people to see it because it's so funny.
Well, once again, when this show goes, you know what? I'll try to put it into the comments. Didn't you say you keep having problems where you
if I post a link, the comment doesn't stay. I'll post it and I'll come back to check like 2 hours later and it's gone.
That's crazy. I don't know. I don't have any restrictions, I believe, as far as I know.
It might just be because it's your channel that you can do it. Maybe I'm not allowed to.
I will try when this video or when this show goes off to post the link to what we're watching for next week's Midnight Mike Show Theater down below in the comment section. And if you want to check out the Bills thing, you could just search the alternate history of the Buffalo Bills.
It's so good.
In one of my previous videos, I put that link down below in the description. So
here's the thing. If you don't watch it when in sync with the show, but enjoy it, chime in, like
I actually don't expect people to watch it in sync with the show. I expect them to watch it, then come in and
I just mean like for next week, if you don't end up watching the STLQ League thing. Cool.
Yeah, well, we'll
watch it a couple weeks later. Just chime in and be like, "Oh, I did see that. I enjoyed it." Like, we're just trying to spread some fun.
Absolutely, Maddie. Thank you again. I am glad I got through tonight with the with the sickness.
You know what would be awesome is if next week none of us had any fucking problems. And we could just be like, all week was great.
Yeah, I came into tonight's show so excited, and like I had booked Gunny earlier in the week, and I was excited to have him on. And thank you again, Gunny, for coming on the show.
Dude, Gunny was a fantastic guest.
Yes, and I'm so glad that you guys were able to talk, because there was points throughout tonight's show where I had to keep quiet because I'd catch a whiff of something that was cooking in the kitchen or something, and I'm just sitting here going, oh my God. And I knew I wasn't going to throw up or anything, but it's just made me so queasy. That I definitely appreciate Gunny coming in with fire. And I wish I just had more time to prepare for this show and not have been sick these days. But I promise, Tuesday night, 10 p.m., folks, we'll be back. And next Saturday, we will be back. But Maddie, thank you.
The one thing I missed is that we did not get the enigma that is Mets.
He's watching WrestleMania.
Leaving us with more questions than answers, because every week I'm always like, is this guy just like a random trucker who kills hookers, or is he just a guy who lives in North Carolina? I love him. I do. I really do. His presence and lack thereof was felt tonight. But we had amazing guests. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Here's to you. Next week, maybe I won't sound like I drank a cup of nails, and we'll all have a good show. But thanks again. Good night, Mets Nation.
Jets Nation.
I meant Jets Nation. My bad, I fucked that up.
Don't talk about the Mets on this show, unless you're talking about Mets.
They are a straight shit show, by the way. Oh my God, I literally care more about the Yard Goats right now, and I just started following them.
And their two first games got postponed.
When is their?
I already sent you out of here. We can't keep going.
When's their first? Like, just give us plug the opening day for the Yard Goats, and I'll go.
Well, I think the first official game is going to be tomorrow, because of the Friday and Saturday got snowed out because they were in Maine and the field conditions weren't good enough. So I think they're going to finally play one game up in Portland tomorrow, and then they're going to be coming home on April 9th to their home season opener, and they'll be playing the Bowie Bay Sox, who are an Orioles affiliate. And that should be fun. And I went to Media Day. I interviewed former New York Yankee Bobby Meacham, who's the manager of the Hartford Yard Goats. I interviewed Zach Veen, who's one of our outfielders, one of the Rockies' top prospects. Their number one draft pick, Benny Montgomery, from 2 years ago, number one draft pick of the Colorado Rockies, interviewed him. And one of their pitchers, Jaden Hill, I interviewed him. And all that will be coming out in the next Goat Gazette. Right? Yes, it will.
All right, follow Goat Gazette. I know he's really trying to get rid of me. He is just shy of playing the wrap it up box. Good night, Jets Nation.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to thank Maddie. I want to thank Gunny. I want to thank Dano for calling into the show and keeping it going while your boy was not feeling good. I hope I pulled it off okay. I think Dano had a great point when he talked about, if I get behind in comments, just jump to the front. And then if you had a comment that was imperative that you wanted us to talk about, you can put it in again, or super chat, folks. Let me go into the comments right now and just make sure that I didn't miss anything. I mean, obviously, I'm talking about super chats, things of that nature. Guys, thank you so much for joining us again. I honestly, I so much appreciate all you guys being here every week and hitting that like button, commenting. The fact that I'm overwhelmed with your comments isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing. That's an old DDP thing. It really is. It's a good thing. It means that me and Maddie are doing something that you guys like. And that means a lot to me. That means a lot to Maddie, and it means a lot to this channel. So subscribe, hit the like button, and I promise on Tuesday night, 10 p.m., next Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be ready to go. I won't be sick the week leading up, and we're just going to – and the new uniforms are coming by the next time we get here. Next Saturday, I'm pretty sure the new uniforms will be here. Let's go, Jets. I'm Midnight Mike, and I can't wait to see you next time.